People will be heating up broccoli in the microwave, and I'm just like, ugh, it smells like farts in here. Sorry about the scraping. This is why I can't be around people. This is my face. Hello again. It's me, Laurie, your friendly neighborhood autistic woman. I'm in my kitchen and I'm gonna heat up some soup for lunch. See, the thing is when I'm at home and if I have a work from home job, I actually eat other stuff besides a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But for some reason, having to pack it in the morning and going to work in an office, my brain cannot handle anything else. Also, I do not like the smells that come from the lunchroom. Like, people will be heating up broccoli in the microwave, and I'm just like, ugh, it smells like farts in here. At work, in a break room or lunchroom, the smells of other people's food is so horrible. And nobody cleans out the microwave. Nobody cleans out their food out of the fridge. It's moldy. It's disgusting. Like, I don't want to be there. Like, I do not understand how it seems like everybody around me in an office or at a school was just totally fine with using the communal microwave or leaving their food in the fridge for weeks and letting it get moldy. Like, how do you forget you have food in the fridge? Yeah, it's just the smells. Usually break rooms have fluorescent lights. This is not a fluorescent light, by the way, and it can be dimmed. So if I get too overstimulated by the light, I can dim it, or I can just turn it off. When I'm in an office, I can't just turn stuff off because somebody comes into the break room and flips it back on, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, I have tried so hard to be a good little worker bee, and I don't know. And I'm watching other people on YouTube, and they all have the same experiences as me. And a lot of people will say, like, well, you seem like you were handling it. And I'm like, but I wasn't, though. Internally, I quit jobs because the break room was stinky. Like, and I didn't know this at the time. I just knew that I never wanted to go back there, and so I would quit. But now looking back, I'm like, well, the break room was stinky. There was too many noises. All the stuff, like I've mentioned before in my other videos, having to prepare to just leave the house every morning, brushing your teeth, taking a shower, eating your breakfast, because if I don't eat in the morning, I will pass out or I feel like really sick. Feeding the dogs, letting the dogs outside to go potty. And all of this has to be done within 30 minutes to 60 minutes or whatever, because then you have to leave for work. And the commute, driving. I've had jobs that I've lived pretty far away from, and at first I'm like, oh, the commute's not so bad. I'll listen to an audiobook or something. But then after, like I said, after 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, I'm like, wow, I really am stressed about this. I also get super duper anxious about being late for stuff, especially jobs. And sometimes I'm so stressed that my alarm is not going to wake me up that I wake up in the middle of the night at like 2 a.m. and I just stay awake. Because I'm so stressed that, well, if I go back to sleep now, I'm going to fall asleep too deeply and my alarm is not going to wake me up. And this has been something that I've been stressed about my whole life, like being late. I have trauma, okay? I have trauma. I was late to class at school. I was in 6th grade. This was before I got pulled out of school. I was in 6th grade. I was a little bit late, and I went straight to the class because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so late. I just need to go to class. The teacher came to me, and she was like, did you go to the office to get a note? And I said, no. I walked here. My parents are at work. I got here on my own, and I accomplished a lot just by getting here on my own. And she said, well, you have to go to the office and get a note first. So she sent me back to go to the office. And as I was walking to the office, I got so frustrated and so upset because I had showed up to class ready to learn. And it was such a struggle for me to get out of my house even. My parents were working, both of them. and nobody was helping me or holding me accountable. And the fact that I got up and went to school, even if I was late, was a huge accomplishment for me. And this teacher's telling me that I need to leave the classroom in the middle of whatever the other people are working on and go to the office and get a note and come back. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. So on my way to the office, I left the school. I went back home. I was like so anxious already about being late. I just wanted to start the activity or start the project or do the reading, whatever they were doing at that time. I don't remember. I just wanted to be there and to start learning and working on the things. And she said I had to go back to the office. And I was like, I am too stressed for this. I feel like my heart is racing out of my chest. It took me so much effort. I walked super fast to get here. I'm just going to go home. I can't go to the office and then go back to this classroom and miss even more. Like, I might as well just go home. I've already missed too much. And those are the kind of things that like have traumatized me. I had a job where I didn't know what the traffic was like. I was new to the city. I had done test runs to the office. And the traffic was fine. And then that morning, my very first day on the job, the traffic was so bad, and I was in a new city, and I didn't have any idea that there was this huge bottleneck on the freeway every morning at 9 a.m. And I got there, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm stressed. Like, I was so stressed. Like, being late stresses me the fuck out, especially for a job, because I'm terrified of getting fired, because I've been fired before for stupid shit that I don't think was reasons to fire me. But anyway, you can listen to my other video. But yeah, I showed up and I was late, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I hate being late. It stresses me out so much. I have so much anxiety about just being late. And the manager was like, just don't let it happen again. And I'm like, I didn't let anything happen. I did test runs several times this week to make sure that I knew how much time I needed. I looked at Google Maps before I left, and it said the ETA when I left, which I always leave with enough time to get there on time, at least 10, 15 minutes early, sometimes 30 minutes early if I have like a doctor's appointment, because I'm so stressed about being late, and I'll just sit in my car. I didn't know that the traffic in this city was going to be that bad that I was like 30 minutes late, and I was already panicking. And I saw this thing on Instagram about autism and how autistic people generalizing, not all of autistic people, but for me, this resonated, that autistic people are so concerned with being on time. If you tell them the party starts at 7, we're going to be there at 7, or we're going to be there 5 minutes early. But parties don't start on time. People trickle in whenever, like 15, 20 minutes after 7. But autistic people show up on time. When they are told a time, they show up on that time. And I was like, oh my gosh, I totally do that. Like, this resonated with me so much. And it also talked about how, maybe I'll try to find it. I'll post it. We are so stressed about being late for a job that like we lose sleep over it, or we show up 30 minutes before our shift starts and just sit in the car, and just like all of these things, like being late, being on time, like obsessively being on time, and how being late just sends me into such a panic. And I'm just like, I just go straight to the worst. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm letting all my coworkers down. I am late and I'm going to get fired, or they're going to think I'm irresponsible. I am the most responsible person ever. And they're going to think I'm being irresponsible. And to have my manager be like, well, don't let it. She was so snotty. I don't understand why people talk like this. But she was so snotty. I was genuinely concerned, and I was apologizing. And she was like, just don't let it happen again. Like, I did everything that I could possibly do to make sure that I was here on time. There was an accident on the freeway. I don't know. I can't control those things. I didn't let anything happen. None of this is something I directly did. I was not on purpose being late. It's not like I slacked off. Like, and I hate it when people think that I'm just lazy. Like, I was the hardest working person there, and I was giving 150%. For 2 years, I was giving 150%, and they fired me because I said, hey, these people over here aren't up at the front desk when I have a million customers to help. I'm exaggerating, obviously. You can't. A million customers. Yeah, I don't know. And all this social stuff that comes along with having a job is crazy because I'm like, I just want to check in customers and get them signed in to go see the vet. And I just want to check them out and do my job. I don't want to be in the break room chatting. I don't want to be on the computer chatting with other people in the back office. Like, I don't want to do that stuff. So I think I expect everybody to be there to work. And not everybody goes to work to actually work. They go there to shoot the shit with their coworkers or whatever it is. It seems like a lot of people that I've encountered don't go there to actually do the job. They go there, they do a little bit of the job, but then they socialize the whole time. I don't know, maybe that's just my perspective, but I am not interested in any of that. I want to do the job, I want to finish my tasks, and I want to go home. I want my paycheck, and I just want to go home. I am not here to make friends. Yeah, and I don't know. Yeah, and when I'm at home and not working in an office or at a school, I make different lunches because I'm not dealing with all the other sensory stuff. I don't cook. My partner's been doing most of the cooking for 20 years, and he apparently likes to cook because he hasn't complained ever, and he does it. And I've even offered to cook a couple days a week by getting those food boxes that I've talked about in the past, because that's the only way that my brain can seem to manage cooking a meal. And he's just like, we've tried that a couple times, and he's like, no, I like to cook, I want to cook, blah, 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 whatever. Anyway, but when I'm at home and I need to cook a meal for myself, I do different things that are not peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Only when I have to go to a physical location outside of my house is when my brain can only handle a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Anyway, Trader Joe's is super expensive, so we don't really go there often, but one just opened up near us. So I went and checked it out, and I found this soup. It's, how do people be influencers? I want you to, these makeup girlies put their hands here. I don't know. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so you just heat it up, and, yeah, or when I'm at home, like, I've had one work from home job during the pandemic. And when I'm at home, I have a can of tuna, and I put mayonnaise and mustard in it, and I have a tuna with crackers. Or like now I'm doing soup. Like, I am capable, as long as I don't have outside sensory forces that I cannot control, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, but I've got my lights here. If I can dim my lights when I'm overwhelmed, then I can manage cooking for myself. It's not, I'm not chopping vegetables and doing a whole meal, but I can manage something that's not a PB&J. Oh man, you know what has changed my life? Soft close cabinets. Oh my God. I used to leave our cabinets open because I hated closing them because they would clank or just sound really loud. And we got soft close hardware, and it has changed my life. Sorry about the scraping. I should probably use a wooden spoon. Okay, this is why I can't be around people. This is my face. Okay, I'm not going to eat this on camera because I'm not comfortable with that yet. Although I did randomly come across some food ASMR videos, and I can't believe people are on the internet making money doing this shit. Like, this woman was slurping up crab meat out of like a snow crab leg, and she had the microphone right there, and I'm like, people are watching this, and she's getting paid for this, and she's just slurping away, and I'm like, first of all, how did you discover that people would pay you for this? And second, who the fuck are these people? Because in my experience, most people do not like it when you slurp your food. Like, that's considered rude. Also, my sensory issues when me and my partner are having soup and he slurps. Oh no, I can't. Anyway, I don't know how that popped up on my For You page, but it did. But I'm not comfortable eating on camera yet. Maybe someday I will be. But here's my little fall soup. Yeah, I'm gonna eat this. But yeah, I guess that's my little autistic rant for the day. I'm just gonna post this because why the fuck not? If you resonate with anything that I said or you've had the same experiences, leave some comments down below. The comments are really helpful because it kind of encourages me to make more videos, which is important. And also I have 8 subscribers. Yay! Slowly but surely getting this channel going. I also would like to post more stuff about me learning things. My parents pulled me out of 7th grade and did not teach me jack shit. I don't know why they didn't like go to the pawn shop and get me a guitar and get me like some DVDs to learn how to play guitar. Or my mom knew how to sew a little bit. She sewed like Barbie clothing for me when I was a little kid. She didn't teach me how to sew. My parents didn't teach me how to cook either. I think my dad tried to teach me how to cook spaghetti one time and I just wasn't interested in it. But my parents never really tried hard to teach me stuff. They took me out of school and I watched TV all day, every day. Full House, Saved by the Bell, Disney Channel, whatever was on TBS or cable TV, I just watched that shit all day long. So I love learning though. Like as an adult, I seek out so much information and so many things. But when I have a full-time job, there's no brain capacity or physical capacity to do any of those extra things. I had a full-time teaching job last year, which my contract wasn't renewed because of all the budget cuts that are happening in public education. But I had a full-time teaching job last year, which totally burned me out. At the end of teaching during the day, my brain just was completely fried. And I did not have the capacity to go take a dance class. And I realized 6 months of not doing stuff that I enjoy really messed me up mentally. But I feel like a lot of people can go to school and hold a full-time job and do all these things. And I'm just like, how? I can work full-time, not do anything I enjoy, get burnt out, or I can work part-time and still have brain power to do the things that I enjoy. I don't know how people are working jobs and going to school. I do not know how, because I went to school full-time. I didn't work. And that was even too much. That fried my brain. So, yeah, I don't understand. Anyway, I'm going to eat my soup and I'm going to post this. But, my point was that I signed up for some sewing classes and I think I might record that and share that with you. I don't know how to sew. I bought a sewing machine 15 years ago and I was like, I'm going to teach myself how to sew with YouTube. And I got really discouraged and I quit. So I think if I have somebody sitting there with me, teaching me and showing me, I think I'll be better. So I might take you along that ride. So, okay, have a great day. Like and subscribe. Leave some comments. Do you struggle with work and maintaining hobbies? Do you struggle with work full time? What do you do to manage your work-life balance? Let me know, and I'll see you later. Bye.